Namaste. So, the vlog is starting to come together, making plans. There's obviously lots of material in the city that I'll be using. But the other thing is, this is the first weekend of Ramadan. And as I mentioned to you before, I started wearing kafas last year at Ramadan for 1 year duration, daily in public, uh, in solidarity. And it's to let my Muslim brothers and sisters um, to stand solidarity with them, to speak out and let people know that I don't see them as terrorists or threats. They're neighbors. They're our community. They're Americans. Um, and so that's all it is. And what was interesting is I've had a number of folks who are religious minorities who are not Muslims who came up to me and were grateful, thanked me. I think they were able to generalize and figure out I was probably supportive of other things as well. And that was probably most pronounced in the Sikh community, where Sikhs in America are often the first targeted by uh, folks who are anti-Muslim, but because of the mistaken idea that they're Muslim. And so they were grateful that I stood up in terms of that. The other part I would say is I remember when I first considered it, my wife had some concerns about my safety. A friend of mine, that I talked to, I wanted to make sure it wasn't cultural appropriation and that it wouldn't be insulting. He kept saying it would be fine and it might even be stylish, but that I should know that I can take it off and I'll still be white. And he said this repeatedly, so that at home these started to be referred to as my still whites. Um, but he's right. I got a small glimpse of being judged, but I could take it off and put on a baseball cap and know things were fine. Um, I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. I thought about it, and I'm not pretending this is a great act of courage. It was just a decision. Yeah, and a year is kind of a long time. Uh, but the two things that pushed me was one, the primary season ending, the presidential primary season, and just the amount of hate that was being spilled, and that it was okay for people to talk hateful. That was really bothersome to me. And then the arguments about refugees. And so it became really clear. And my wife became very supportive of it as well. And so at first I think I was really self-conscious. Then I got to the point where I didn't even notice it anymore. I forgot that I had them on until someone would spit at me or make a disgusting face or yell at me when I was driving. I was crossing the street and a car started coming towards me, and I moved and it changed lanes and I really had to run across the street. I don't think it was going to hit me. I think it did want me to run, and I did. Those are experiences that I never would have experienced in my life. I don't get harassed while walking while white, and so I think it was important for me to experience that. Uh, but what I was surprised about was how much support I got. I had people who would just stop me and talk to me, and they'd say, I thought you were Catholic, and I'd say I am, and I'd tell them why I'm doing this, and they were really appreciative of it. I did have one guy who said, well, you came this far, it's time for you to become a Muslim, but he was the only one in a year that tried to convert me. I made sure that when I went into a mosque, I didn't wear them because I didn't want to either pretend or give somebody the false impression, but they knew I was wearing them otherwise, and they expected me to wear them. I didn't wear it if I was buying liquor. I didn't want somebody to see me and think, boy, there's a bad Muslim. I didn't wear them. Um, well, actually, it made me a better ambassador of respect and tolerance because someone would cut me off and I would be polite while I was wearing this. So anyway, so that's the experience, and um, it is Ramadan, so I could take it off, but the goal was to wear it till my first iftar, and we have Arab Fest next weekend, and we have an iftar afterwards, so that'll be my last day of wearing these, and I got quite a collection. The first one I got was at the National Mosque in Malaysia, so that was obviously way before this past year. Um, this is a green one if the color's not coming through, uh, and color coordinate with my grays, and one of my fancier ones. This allowed me to go into to cool stores and buy stuff, and I kind of like that. Anyway, so I'll be done with that next weekend. Um, the other thing that reinforced is that in the last year I've been to Jordan twice working with the Syrian American Medical Society, which is not a religious organization. It's a medical association, humanitarian association, but lots and lots of the members are Muslim, and certainly the clients are. And that just reinforced my sense of brotherhood and sisterhood, and not being silent. So that's what this is about, and it'll soon be over. But it kind of fits with what's going on in terms of my blog, so I thought I'd explain it. So I think that's all for now. Take care, and next week we'll have hopefully some pictures of Arab Fest and Buddha's birthday as well. Peace and all good. Namaste.